If you're interested in stuff that's stupid and free like Britney Spears, then go to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Rocco's a piece of shit. Rocco's a piece of shit. My fine, full-cheeked friend, Rocco is a piece of shit.
Is that a new song you're working on?
It is. How are you, pal?
It's weird. I talking to you and looking at your face for, I'll say, 17 seconds, and I don't like your fucking attitude. Is that weird?
Well, I mean, it's hard for you to talk that way to me when you got a dot on your head and the color is red.
There we go.
Nah.
Yeah, you make fun of pimples, and guess what? You'll have one tomorrow.
Pimpeel?
And I swear, once I get through puberty, you're not gonna be able to make fun of me for that shit.
Woo! You look good. You look fucking good.
Oh boy, who pissed you off today? Who did it?
Life.
You got the old cunt eyes on.
Life in general just pissed me off today. You want to know what pisses me off? I'm going to tell you what pisses me off. What really pisses me off? Why do people in the gym take gym selfies in the gym in front of everybody via the mirror? Now, I get it if you're like a bodybuilder, like that's how you probably, you dedicate your time. And even
track
after
your gains, as the kids say.
Yeah. And even afterwards, I've been to gyms where like dudes are pants down, posing, getting ready for getting ready for show day. I get it.
What kind of gym do you go to that's fucking pants down?
You don't worry about that.
The YMCA, huh? Yeah.
It's the YMCA. But all I'm saying is that when I see fucking like schkivatzes in the gym just taking pictures of themselves, it's like, come on, bro, stop it. What are you there for? Work the fuck out. Work out. Stop being a fucking. That really bothers me. It's probably a personal preference, right? It bothers me though.
Well, to answer your question, you said, why do they do that? A, they're jerk offs.
Agreed.
B, it doesn't count going to the gym unless you can back it up with pictures to put on your social media.
I fucking hate people.
I think it's people in general, dude. There is. I know people that will remain nameless that I see on social media, and I'm like, God damn, all right, good for you. But then, like, you talk to them in person, it's like fucking crying the fucking blues and fucking this and that, and
yeah,
and not this. A separate note: how many couples out there do you see with the fucking pictures, and then my man crush Monday, my fucking woman crush Wednesday, my fucking twat tickling Thursday, and meanwhile, they're fucking, they're about to break up in real life.
Yeah.
So they have two relationships, one on social media, one real life.
Who, that bitch? I don't even fucking talk to her.
Yeah. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe. Oh God.
Oh my God. Yeah, but like, dude, that's what. Listen, social media, I guess, has done some good things. Probably not really, but I'm just going to say that to connect people. But God damn, you don't have to take a picture of every single meal you ate, right? Like you go to a restaurant, something has like that fucking look, the wow factor, the eye appeals half the meal factor.
Yeah.
But like, you're eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Hey, listen, I'll take your fucking word for it. I don't need to see it.
I don't even know if it's an age thing. Do you think it's an age? I don't know, because I know people
it's not age. I know people way older than us that fucking do it.
Yeah, like fucking. You'll see like, oh, Godfathers and broccoli. All right, that's great. That's fucking great. I'm glad you ate that last night. I get it. It's just something to. I don't know. I think it has something to do with a human reaction, even though there is no human reaction. It's a psychological type thing that like, oh, I'm going to put my meal on Instagram, and I want to hear people see people reply back and say, "Oh my God, that looks delicious."
That's called chasing the hug.
Wow.
Everyone wants to be a little pat in the back. It's like a.
And here, I thought that was
quick.
I thought that was a gay club in San Diego.
I think you meant San Francisco, but then again, like we said in this episode, they're gonna hear it. Geometry, not your. I mean, geography. You know what? We're two dumb motherfuckers, pretty much.
We are dumb. Not these two dumb fucking guys. That's the name of the podcast.
Yeah. So geography, not your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the quick gratification. You know, the same way that we go play music.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for them to applaud when we're done. Or the same way that we put out a podcast and we keep checking the fucking back end tool, seeing how many downloads we got.
Oh,
kind
I thought
of
you were talking about my ass.
Yeah, we do it in a more closeted way.
Got it. Well, speaking of gratification, there was an article that you sent me. You actually sent me a video, and I was like, I had so many questions, but I narrowed it down to two. And the gratification part was this gentleman that attended a concert, Welcome to Rockville, and the video that you sent me was the lead singer of a band called Brass Against. And I believe her name is Sophia Urista, which you know what? I never even knew about this.
Urina.
Urethra. I didn't even know about this band. And they're
like a cover band, aren't they?
I think they're a cover band, right? Tool, Rage Against the Machine, and with a brass ensemble, hence Brass Against. So the two questions I had with this video. Now we're going to throw a link up in the description of the podcast so you guys check for yourself. One, do women actually pee that much? And two, until I found out and I watched the end of the video, was this guy happy about this? Rocco, please tell our audience what Sophia did at Welcome to Rockville.
So we started this show with you saying you being pissed off.
Yeah.
Now we're going to segue into being pissed on.
Oh!
So they're playing a set, right? And I don't know if she called some audience member up, dropped trow, popped a squat, and pissed on this young gentleman. And when I say pissed, this is going to go to your first fucking question of, is that really how girls piss? Because I'll tell you, if you look at the video, it looks like she was holding this piss in since February. Dude, it was the equivalent of like fucking someone just throwing like pouring a bucket of water on this guy. And it was real. Right from the pee hole.
I had to show my wife and ask her like a fucking third grade health question. Do you pee this much? And she was like, what are you talking about? I showed her the video and she was like, oh my God, she must have been hammered.
Dude, that was one hell of a piss.
That was a fucking piss.
And the fucking, that was a hard stream too.
Hard stream.
Oh my God. So
she pops a squat, takes the piss of her life on this, on this gentleman, which, if I remember correctly, he looked like almost like a biker, almost, kind of, right? I don't know if you remember.
I couldn't get a great look at him. He looked kind of yellow. You're yellow.
He was pissed off. Obviously, like, the video just really starts with her almost peeing. Like, I want to know, did he run up on stage and go in her ear and say, can you piss on me, please?
Yeah.
And he was laying down willingly, right? You saw that. She fucking pissed, and he got up, wiped, like smushed it in his face, and gave the old woo with his. He gave like a Ric Flair, Like that's how fucking happy, proud, and satisfied, the gratification that we were talking about earlier in this podcast. That's how happy he was that Sophia gave him a golden shower.
Dude, that was a golden torrential fucking downpour.
Oh
and now the backlash she's getting over it is like, she probably thought, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get people talking, blah blah blah, fucking yeah, this is fucking, I don't know if this is like metaphoric that I'm fucking pissing on a man or pissing against the fucking system or pissing in the fucking wind, but now they're giving her the old, as you would say, Arch, they're giving her the business.
They're giving her the business.
Yeah.
So did you see that she issued an apology?
Yeah.
She said, to my friends, family, and fans, I am not a shock artist. I always put the music first. It was just something that happened, and you won't be seeing that again at a Brass Against show. But I did not mean to hurt any of my friends or family, because I'm sure her fucking family was like, hey, saw that on the internet.
Yeah,
didn't know you were going out there to do that.
Yeah, not exactly a proud parent moment, but I get what she's saying. Her apology, and I believe her. Guess what? She can be the rest of her life. Piss girl.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no separating Piss Girl from her and the band.
There is absolutely no separating that. From now on, she's now Papa Squat. She's Piss Girl. She's Golden Shower. She is everything.
What's her real name again?
Sophia Urista.
Sophia, you're in.
You're right.
How many times can I get that one in today?
She yeah, so that video, that was amazing. That was amazing, because you normally don't see that. Can I ask you a question?
Please do.
Reverse the roles.
Oh, forget about it. Fucking that's literally the most misogynistic fucking act you could possibly do. Fuck it. Dude, no. Absolutely not. Nope.
Some girl jumps on stage, yells at Marilyn Manson and says, and I'm just, figuratively speaking, yells at a male artist and says, piss on me.
Tony Bennett, do me a favor. Piss on me. It's fucking old man, like dribble piss. It's like, it's inconsistent stream. It starts, it stops. It's fucking dribbling. This kind of got away. This kind of got away from me a little bit.
I got you all over my skin.
Yeah, dude. So I guess people like that though, right?
Oh,
remember in what was it? Was it horrible bosses? Yeah, I'm here for the wet work.
People are into that. Me, not so much. In fact, if I get a drop on my hand, I'm like, ah. I'm like,
all right, let me ask you a question, and I need 100% honesty out of you.
Okay.
You're taking a piss at home.
No.
You're taking a tinkle.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
You shake it, you're all good.
Okay.
One little errant drop of pee.
Yeah.
Lands on either the toilet seat, part of the toilet bowl, or the floor.
Yeah.
You're wearing socks.
Okay.
Do you or do you not wipe it with your foot out of laziness?
I can almost guarantee if it hits the floor, we're socking it up.
It's getting socked.
If it hits the toilet, I'm grabbing a piece of tissue and I'm toilet paper, and I'm gonna lap it up with that. But I appreciate the honesty. That's a fair assessment. Yeah,
you got two roads here: on the toilet paper; on the floor, sock it up.
Now I know we've talked about this before, but like there has been some times where it's like middle of the night, maybe hammered, maybe not, and I leave the seat down. I know I should pick it up. I know, but you want to know what? I pick up the seat 93% of the time. There are times that the seat's down, and then I'm like, "Oh, fuck." should I go back and check? Oh, I'm so tired. And then I'll hear like in the morning or maybe like a little while later. Ew! And I'm like, fuck. Forgot that drop. So
Piss isn't piss very interesting? It is. I'm not on the topic of piss.
Yeah.
Remember a baseball player, a second generation player, Moises Alou?
Yes.
The son of Felipe Alou.
Felipe Alou, yeah.
So Moises Alou never wore batting gloves.
Okay.
But his hands were rough, and you know what he did to make them that way? To get better grip on the bat?
Please tell me.
Every time he went in the shower, he pissed on his hands.
That would make them rough?
I guess so. Want to try it? Get back to me next episode? That's what he did. So there was a MMA fighter, Lyoto Machida.
Okay.
I want to say he used to do shots of his own piss.
What?
Yeah, he felt like it had some kind of healing property, or like did something to him, or fucking, you know. I mean, getting it straight from the tap, right? Is the best source.
Isn't that just recycling?
Yeah, right. when it gets back to your stomach, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. We should read it. It's like throwing somebody out of a bar, and all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, they're fucking back in.
They're like, oh, when'd you get back?
What the fuck? Wait a minute. So I don't even know how to process you, because when you came in, you were water, and we processed you into piss and or beer. Now what the fuck do we do?
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
In dodgeball, necessary? Is it necessary to drink your own urine? No, but it's sterile. And I like the taste. Rip Torn, he was the fucking best.
You couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat.
Yeah.
Is it necessary? Fucking.
So anyway, if anybody out there that's a gentleman, or I'll say a male, because I don't know if it's a gentleman would do it, but enjoys getting tinkled on by a female, we would love to speak to you and know what the attraction is.
Yeah, man.
And what's good about it. What's good about it?
We'll even put you on the next episode with us. Hit us up at NTTFGPOD@gmail.com or any of our social media at NTTFGPOD. Hit us up. We want to speak to you if you like this, and we'll even put you on the next episode. We want to hear from you. All anonymous. You let us know. Yo, Rock.
Yes, sir.
Oh, today is a great day, my friend. I'm jacked up about this one. You know this.
You and me both, pal.
Our next guest is from a band out of the great state of New Orleans.
The great state of New Orleans. You're so fucking dumb. You're so fucking dumb. You know that? Christ. Seriously.
Louisiana. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, and you're definitely.
I promise I'm going to keep that in.
Well, there's a lot of people here in New Orleans that probably think that we have our own state. So
people say they are one of the originators of that groove metal thrash sound. One main ingredient, one constant variable through their 35-year career of ups and downs, lineup changes, and hiatuses is their ferocious singer. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, lead singer of Exhorder, Kyle Thomas. What's up, bro?
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you having me on today. I really do. Thank you. I'm well. I'm happy and healthy and busier than I'd like to be.
So how is everything going down in the great state of New Orleans?
Well, we're recovering from Hurricane Ida. Really kind of kicked our asses. Like for instance, I still have a tree leaning on my house that I have to deal with.
Oh,
but,
fuck.
Fighting through red tape with insurance companies and blah, 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 life in general. So I won't play the world's tiniest violin too much today. But otherwise, we've got great weather right now. We've, finally got some autumn type weather lingering around, and the summer weather's finally gone. And that's like always the best 2 weeks of the year in the state of New Orleans.
Gotcha.
Yeah. As you could tell, Archie's not the brains of the operation. So. That's fantastic.
I like it. Not these two fucking guys. Huh? I was wondering what that acronym was. It's perfect. Y'all are great.
Thank you. So you're gearing up for a big tour coming up. We're excited about that.
Yeah, I leave New Orleans on Tuesday and head up to Oxford, Ohio, which is right outside of Cincinnati. That's where our bassist Jason Vibrooks lives, and that's where we rehearse. So we always depart from tour out of there. It's something that's overdue for sure. We did get together in August for Psycho Las Vegas and some recordings and plenty of rehearsals. So this time around, we're just happy to be going out and doing more than one show. And for the first time ever in the history of this band, there is a proper tour for Slaughter in the Vatican. And what better
nice.
to do it than a full U.S. tour, a headlining slot. I'm so thrilled that people still give a damn 31 years later about the iconic album that launched this band into legitimacy.
That's so dope, dude. When you played it in its entirety in Vegas, correct?
We did. Yeah, we've only done it twice. We did it at St. Vitus Bar back in 2018, our first show back, since we reformed in this era. And, it went over so well both times. We commiserated amongst ourselves and presented it to our booking agent. And, really quickly he came back with, I've got a headlining tour for you guys. I'm like, wow, hell yeah.
So how was it received though in Vegas? You say good, but like, how was the feedback?
Well, the club was, we played House of Blues, and the entire floor was jam-packed. The whole first floor was just as full as you could want it to be. Some people up in the upper deck, but for the most part, it was about as killer of a gig as I could hope for. I'd say, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people in attendance. And, they were all I just remember everybody's faces just like that. The intro came on to the album, and there was a mosh pit going to the intro.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a good show then.
Yeah. Well, you've already won. Now all we got to do is not screw it up,
Yeah.
So what is it like preparing for a tour like you're doing now, when you haven't been touring consistently? You said the last tour was a couple years ago, and before that probably a bit of a hiatus. What goes into preparing for like a full-fledged headlining tour?
Well, a lot. We've got to make sure we've got enough material to to justify people coming out of their houses and coming out to see you. You've got to make sure that you've ordered enough merchandise. You've got to line up a vehicle. You've got to arrange for a crew. You've got to schedule flights, interviews, so much. And right now we're doing all of this in-house. We're doing everything on our own. So it's been a lot of work, and it's tough sometimes because got to pay bills, and we have to get to the shows where the actual income starts happening, and but the work needs to be done. So it's kind of like, just like sales, it's feast or famine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, how about digging up these songs from years ago, man? Did it bring back any good memories, bad memories? How'd you feel?
Man, these songs are ingrained in me. We wrote them when I was a child. The only song on that album that I was not an adult, that I was actually an adult for when we wrote, was The Tragic Period. That one was written, I want to say probably late 88, 1989-ish. And the rest were written 1987 or sooner, or previously.
Yeah.
I wrote the lyrics to Legions of Death when I was 15 years old. I was a child. So
wow,
I don't have to think much. This is mostly muscle memory for me. Probably for the band, it's harder work because they weren't around when we wrote these songs. So they have to learn them again and again and again. And it's hard work. It's so complex. These are songs that are not, it's not Ramones songs. With all due respect to Ramones, one of my favorite bands, this, very, very complicated music. So it takes a lot of effort. And even if you remember all the parts, then you have to make your body actually do the work because it is intricate and taxing on you. So, fortunately the guys in the band are all hard workers and they're professionals. They don't want to get up there and lay an egg. Who does? Nobody wants to look terrible.
No. How is the rest of the band now? There, like I mentioned before, decent amount of lineup changes, some hiatuses. Now with this current lineup that you have now, confident, ready to go. Everybody's strong. Everybody's for the cause.
Yes, absolutely. We've really, built a strong kinship over the last couple of years, working together so much. So when we're rolling together in downtime, it's more like family, just hanging out, and that's nice. I've been in a lot of touring situations with a lot of different bands on a lot of different tour buses and a lot of different vans, cars even crammed in together, and it isn't always fun and pleasant and nice, and everybody doesn't always get along. So it helps when you've got a happy vehicle, a happy bus, happy home.
Yeah, good. That's awesome.
I was very excited and happy to hear at probably 2017 at this point that Margie Montazeri joined your band. I got a chance to meet him in Texas some years back. What a great guy! Like took the time to like sit and talk with a group of us, just talking about like touring, what he was doing, what he was up to, and man, what a great addition for your band.
Yeah, we had met many years ago. Really didn't know each other well until he reached out to me. I don't know, maybe 2015, 2016. Start talking about maybe doing something together, which became Heavy as Texas. And then while we had that together, the guys, the remaining guys in the band, were working with the project called Year of the Tyrant. So it came to our attention that there were parties interested in helping us put Exhorder back together. So all we did was take those two bands and smash them together, and bam, you've got a legitimate Exhorder again.
That's fantastic. How does it feel to, like, when you talk to people about your band, it's, when it comes to like whether it be the metal community, artists in their own right, always say that you're one of their influences. Like, how does that feel to be like, you're one of the boys, but yet you're looked up to?
It's flattering, no doubt. I've had guys from Slipknot, Lamb of God, Pantera, so many bands that I come across and meet, the Cannibal Corpse guys, the Obituary guys. There's always somebody in one of those bands that's a fan of Exhorder. Exhorder's kind of like Trouble. I happen to be in two bands where we're kind of like the musicians band. The musicians all really look up to both of those bands that I'm in, and understandably so. It's flattering to hear it. What I would like to see different is to elevate this band to the same level as most of those bands, and finally have the potential of this band come to fruition. That's been the struggle with this band. Plenty of that falls on our shoulders as far as blame goes, but you've got to put in the work, and that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to earn our stripes and make this band something that we can not just get to the top for financial reasons or whatever. Yeah, great. It'd be nice to live off of, one project. That'd be fantastic. But just the fact that when I still come across people that have never even heard of us, it's like frustrating as hell to me,
Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault but our own, I guess, for sitting out for 27 years.
But it's funny you said that, but with that kind of hiatus, still, the following you have, I think that's remarkable. There's bands that have been touring the entire time that don't have the following that you guys have, or the record, or the envy from other bands.
Yeah, that's crazy too. I was just discussing earlier today that there's a lot of bands that you take a break that long and you're done. Even if you were an arena band, sometimes you get back together and you're just going to be relegated to small clubs for the rest of your life, and that's unfortunate. What's happened to us is the exception to the rule. Every time we break up and get back together many years later, the band has gotten bigger. I don't understand it. I'm not going to argue with it. I'll take it. It makes my work a lot easier, but that's not common. That's not how it usually works. Usually you stay away and you lose, but we stay away and we gain. So if I ever have to get another day job, I'm just going to not show up for 27 years and come back and see if I get
it. Do you think though, if you took those hiatuses out of the equation, do you think the band would have pursued a different route? Do you think something other would have happened, another opportunity? Where would you think you'd be without the hiatuses?
Call me biased, but I think we'd be headlining a lot of these festivals. And that might be bold for me to say, but it's just if we're at the tier that we're at now, after having done nothing, what might have happened had we stayed together?
Gotcha.
If so many of these bands that have, achieved gold and platinum status, if so many of them are telling you this is who, we wouldn't be if it wasn't for this band, and we had done the hard work that they did and not had the misfortunes and the bad decisions and all that stuff. I think that the band probably would have evolved just as much as we have. If you listen to the Law versus Slaughter in the Vatican, there's definitely an evolution. And where Cadence of the Dirge, the last song on that album, left off, that's pretty much where we were heading. And if you listen to More in the Southern Skies, we were very careful not to abandon our roots and, have plenty thrash sounding stuff on this album.
Oh, yeah.
But you listen to songs that are different. Listen to the title track, More in the Southern Skies. That is very different from any Exhorder song ever. So, yes, I think the evolution may have taken us in a pretty different direction fairly quickly back then, but I'm of the opinion that it would have been in the right direction and we would have probably grown a lot fairly quickly. But I don't know. It didn't happen, so that's all speculative. It doesn't really even matter. But I can sit here and dream how rich I'd be if I hadn't taken a 27-year break.
I mean, with the cliche saying, right? It happens for a reason. There's got to be a reason. I mean,
I'm too jaded to feel that way.
Yeah. He's like, fuck that.
I'd rather sit here and count my imaginary money from my imaginary winning lottery ticket.
I tell you though, you again with the long break in between, your band is for sure an anomaly. Most bands either kind of stay the same and put out the same stuff, and if they do, have the courage to try to evolve, I'm going to say 8 out of 10, it's not in a good way. You guys are the opposite of that.
There's a difference between evolving as a band and changing for the wrong reasons. I think a lot of bands do that because they see trends happening and they want to latch on to something that they're not a part of, but they feel might be the future. And I think that's a terrible idea. There's nothing wrong with being influenced by pop culture. I can't say that it's never happened to me before, but it has to be genuine. And that's one thing I've always been adamant about when we come up with new songs. Over the years, there have been pieces that came together, and I remember raising my hand saying, I don't know, this doesn't feel right for what we're doing. And a lot of the times I would offer up pieces of music that I wrote to the guys, and they were all like, man, it's really good, but I just don't think it fits, and at the time I was kind of upset because I was like, man, y'all just don't want to use my stuff. But I mean, in retrospect, they were right, because after leaving the band back in '92 and starting my band Floodgate with my brother, a lot of that material I was trying to submit to them, I ended up putting on that. And well, it makes perfect sense. Floodgate's a totally different band from Exhorder,
Yeah. Well, from Floodgate to Trouble to Exhorder to Rocky's favorite Alabama Thunder Pussy.
Right on.
They used to call Archie's sister that in high school.
You could go out on like a little fucking solo tour, bro.
Well, funny that you mentioned that, because I'm in the process of writing a solo album. It's kind of on the back burner as I'm prioritizing New Exhorder and New Trouble, because it wouldn't be fair to the guys in those bands if I started prioritizing this without finishing what we've already started. And I've waited this long with a lot of these songs. Some of these songs were intended for the second Floodgate album that never happened. And some of it's stuff that I've just been working on over the years. Some of it's brand new, but it's going to be really, really nice to do an album 100% on my terms, that, material that 100% I wrote, or if it's not a song that I wrote, that it's something that has a special place in my life and in my upbringing, my development. So I'd say possibly next year, this thing could come out late or maybe early 23. It's coming. And a lot of the people that are my close confidants are really excited about it, that I've played them the pre-production versions of the songs. And I've had a couple of them tell me this is your best stuff you've ever done. So got that looking great. Got that to look forward to.
We had Chuck Billy on not too long ago, and I brought something like that up about, a solo album. And he's like, I've asked, he's like, I'm definitely getting it in the works. I'm asking different guitar players, Mark Morton, this guy, that guy. So I said to him, I said, I'm going to assume it's not going to be like Testament. He's like, no. He's like, I'm really into blues. I'm really into, all different type of rock. Like, would you see yourself stepping out of the realm?
There's absolutely zero, at this time, there are absolutely zero traces of anything thrashy on the solo.
Wow.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more along the lines of probably where I was heading, where Floodgate was leaving off. Not exclusively, but you might get some bluesy rock. You might get some acoustic pieces. You might get something that's I don't know, completely off the wall. I am from New Orleans, so we have traditional New Orleans music here. So don't be surprised if there's something on there that sounds like that also.
Dope. That's dope.
Now, this has to be like a cathartic moment for you to, again, like Archie said, all the bands you've been in, all the different styles, you can 100% do whatever you want. It's not like, you got 5 other guys. You got to say, okay, let's try this, let's try that. It's got to feel great, though.
Yeah, that's the best part about it, is it's mine. I don't have to compromise with anybody when it comes to songwriting and stuff. And not that I think that that's a bad thing, because I think when you're writing as a group and working as a team, it is in the best interest of the songs that everyone listen to each other, as long as somebody's not trying to make changes just to put their stamp or thumbprint on it, you know. To me, as I look at myself less as a singer and a musician as I do as a songwriter. That's what I do. I write songs, and if I'm writing a song from the ground up, all the music, all the lyrics, all the vocal patterns, all the accompaniments, everything, then all the pressure falls back on me as to if the song's good or bad. I get the glory if it's good, and I get the blame if it's bad. So I serve the songs, and that's what I always stress to guys when we're writing together is if someone starts kind of getting off course, like, remember, we have to serve the song. The song is what's important here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you the type of artist that when the song's done, or is it like, okay, I got it like this, let me tweak, and I keep going back to it, or is like, all right, I did it, that's it?
Every good artist knows that the song is never finished. The painting is never. At some point, you just have to put down the paintbrush or the guitar pick or whatever and walk away from it and go, I'm done. Because if you don't, you drive yourself mad. You will absolutely drive yourself mad.
You talked about your solo record. Talk about, you said you did some work for a new Exhorder record. What's the latest and greatest on that?
Well, we've all been working at home individually since the pandemic went down. We just figured if we can't record, we'd better get busy. We are still under contract with Nuclear Blast for a follow-up to More in the Southern Skies. So, we don't want to wait around too long and have them going, hey guys, what's going on? But it is tough because we live in 4 different states. So thankfully we're in the digital age where you can record, send it over to somebody, let them add their piece, but nothing beats getting in the freaking jam room and working on stuff together, which we did in August, and that was great. But yeah, we got into the studio at the end of August and did some, it's just probably going to end up being just demos for the new album, but in a real studio, and starting to bang them out and make them sound like us. So yeah, each guy's contributing. I've got a handful of songs that, this is the most of my work that will ever make it probably to an Exhorder album to date. Like I said, I really didn't do much before, but I'm writing a lot of material. Jason's got his songs, Marcy's got his songs, Sasha's got a lot of stuff that he's bringing to the table. So in true Exhorder form, this is how it was always done. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but from day one, we always collaborated as a team, and I think that's where the best Exhorder material lies, is when we were all bouncing ideas off of each other.
Tell me a little bit about the single you put out in 2020, The Man That Never Was.
What a cool song, man. That's like a real punk vibe kind of song to me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love those mid-tempo jams. Those are really good. So that one, really, we were planning on that being on the album. The reason why it wasn't on the album was because our then manager talked us into taking a song from our Get Rude demo from 1986 that never was recorded, a song called Ripping Flesh, and bringing in Chris Nail as a guest on the album. And so we'd have, 3 original members on one song on the album. And I, at the time I was like, man, that's, I don't want to do that. I want this new song to be on the album. It doesn't make sense. And then, after softening to the idea, I think it was the right thing to do, because it was another thrashy song. And finally we can put our heads on a pillow at night knowing that Ripping Flesh finally made it to an album. So
good.
It gave us an opportunity to have material for a single down the line, which was, a special thing. It's its own thing. It's got its own album artwork design and such. So I don't regret the decision now. But yeah, the song is a nice, angry, bouncy, but groovy kind of Exhorder song. It's everything you want in an Exhorder, I think.
I'm a little curious about this. How significant is a man named Monty Connor to your career?
I'm indebted to Monty for the rest of my life for so many reasons. He's obviously he's a linchpin for two of the bands that I was in, Exhorder and Floodgate. He's the one that signed both bands, and has, he put his neck on the line for Exhorder. A lot of people don't know this, but Roadrunner wanted us gone after Slaughter in the Vatican, and Monty told them, if they go, I go. And Monty got his way. So that's why we have the law from Exhorder on Roadrunner Records, because of Monty. So everybody bought a beer for that. And but aside from him just really, really believing in just about everything I've ever done, he's just a kind man. That's a wonderful person, man. He reached out to me when I was, basically homeless, waiting on being able to figure out what I'm going to do with my flooded home. And he reached out to me and helped me in a way that I can't begin to explain to you how valuable that was to me at the time when I was by myself with two small children, didn't know what the hell I was going to do. So I always like to make sure that everybody knows Monty is as quality of a person, as more of a quality person than he is, an ace at knowing the ins and outs of metal and music, and being an A&R guy, former senior vice president of Roadrunner Records. Man, he's just one of the best friends I'll ever have.
Awesome. That's fucking nice little story right there between you guys, man. And I know he's very reputable in the business for what we love and metal and stuff. So
yeah, no doubt.
See,
sounds like. Go ahead, Arch. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It sounds like 2022 is going to be a busy year for you. Solo record, Exhorder record. Tell me a little bit about your newest venture, Stitch Witch Organic.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked about that, because we're still in a growth stage. We haven't launched yet. We're overdue for launching, but an old friend of mine who actually was one of the punk rockers that used to work with a team called the Swamp Rats that promoted most of the early punk important shows. They're the ones that actually gave Exhorder our first gig. So that's how far Melissa and I go back.
Oh,
but,
wow.
She approached me about this idea. This is killer. This is great. It's a retail site where you can go and purchase things. The premise of the theme is, organic, small business, that kind of thing. But most importantly, and I can't take credit for this. This was Melissa's idea. We're basically going to have what we call the giving list at the website, and it's stitchwitchorganic.com. Go check it out. We're still putting it all together, but the launch is coming soon. And basically, the customers can submit an artist or, graphic artist, visual artist, a band or whatever, somebody that you think could use a helping hand, especially in this pandemic era. And a portion of the money that we earn from these transactions will go to the beneficiary of your choice. So it's really a cool thing. Yeah. I think it's genius, to be honest with you. And everybody I tell it to seems to feel like, wow, nobody's doing that. It's really a great thing. And, we're going to also have a portion of the stuff donated towards dog and cat rescue, that sort of thing, or, saving the earth, blah, blah, blah. So our plan is to have X amount of percentage of everything goes to this because that's what we want. But what do you want? Who would you like to help? Let's help who you want to help. Thanks for shopping with us. What can we do to help your friends or your heroes? You know,
That's
fantastic.
Noble. Pretty cool. Fucking noble. I like it.
Yeah.
I tell you, the nicest people in the world are from heavy metal. I swear to God. You know, it's funny because like, you know, we were talking that too, like Arch said with Chuck Billy and like some of the titles of the songs and what it's about, and then behind it is like the nicest people in the world, and you know, we appreciate stuff like that, and I think that's an awesome idea. And you're right, nobody's doing that. It's unique.
Yeah. So, you know, we have no idea what to expect when it happens, but we've got a hunch that it could take off. So my role in this is going to be kind of like a spokesperson. So, you know, I'll be kind of a man on the street, deal with it. I mean, I am involved in the behind the scenes stuff too, but you know, my networking over the years and the friends that I've made and the friends that I have that are in higher places than me, I guess you can't get much lower than me. I've run it by a few of them, asking them, would you be interested in being affiliated with this? And most everybody's like, where do I sign up for this? You know?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, brother, we Rocky and I can't thank you enough for giving us some time, man. Slaughter in the Vatican, playing in its entirety, coming out in November. You're gonna be hitting. Yeah, I think you're coming by us, actually.
November 24th.
Yeah, we're in New Jersey.
You guys up in Cambridge?
No,
we're in New Jersey.
Okay, so you guys get to see us. Y'all get to come to the show, stay up drinking all night, and then go to the parades in the morning, right?
That's right.
Hell yeah.
That's damn right.
Hell yeah. November 24th.
I tell you what,
Brooklyn.
If I didn't have to play in Cambridge on Friday, I'd probably do the same thing.
Well, I'm gonna leave you off with I dedicate 1 week, one album for a whole week. And this week was More in the Skies at the gym for me, bro. It's so I love it. I love that album right now.
I'm glad.
That's like a rotation, bro.
We put a lot of work into it, and it was the dream album that we always wanted to make.
And it looks like that's like almost like a stepping stone of like where now Exhorder is going, and we can't wait.
Absolutely, we're thinking about doing a ska album next.
There you go. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, so obviously, if you go to www.exhorder.com, there are links to all of our socials on there. But if you individually want to find us on your favorite social media sites, we have a Facebook page. We also can be found on Twitter and Instagram as at Exhorder NOLA, NOLA, like New Orleans, Louisiana, the great state of New Orleans and the great state of Louisiana. At Exhorder NOLA. We've got a YouTube page that we need to start getting active with again. So there's plenty of places to find us. We are absolutely 100% like herpes. We're just going to keep coming back.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Awesome, brother. We can't thank you enough, man. And good luck with this tour, and good luck with everything. And we'll be on the lookout for you. For your new shit.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, honor, and this was a great, fun interview. Thank you all so much for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great
gentleman,
Kyle Thomas. Good luck, brother. Bye-bye.
I'll take care.
Dude, that was awesome. Kyle Thomas hailing from the great state of New Orleans.
Oh my God.
He goes, "You're so fucking dumb." Listen, bro, I got a lot on my mind. I know it's Louisiana. Sometimes you fuck up. Sometimes you fuck up. Right. Well, yo, man, again, like I just said, the new Exhorder album that, well, it's not new, but like
2019, their latest.
Yeah, their latest. The more in the Southern Skies. It's in my rotation right now. It's fucking dope. I love it. And I can't wait to hear new Exhorder. What about you, bro?
Dude, yeah, man. Again, that single they put out in 2020, the Man That Never Was, I think that's like the direction they're going in. It's almost a continuation, but probably getting more in depth with a new album. Yeah, super excited, dude. And I couldn't find the right words to say it. Like, we're into comedy, right? Dave Attell is a comedian's comedian.
Yeah.
You know, I guess Exhorder is a fucking band's band. Like when your contemporaries like you're doing something well. Because let's be honest, schmucks like us, fans, we don't really know that much sometimes. But like, dude, let me tell you something. People would fucking kill to have the career he's had, and he's super modest.
Very humble.
You know, the name Exhorder is basically like, these guys could do no wrong. Everyone talks great about them. 26 years they didn't play. Figure that out.
You want to know what I wanted to say to him? I thought about it before the interview, but I didn't say it during the interview. But I came onto Exhorder a little late in the game. But when I first heard of Exhorder, I said, "Oh, that's where Pantera came from."
That's what people say, dude. People are like, "That's again because." Well, let me put it this way: Pantera was doing, Phil was doing more of those Rob Halford vocals. It was more of a glam band before Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
But Exhorder was out before that, and they kind of were the originators of the groove metal. And I think if you listen to any guys, anyone in Pantera at the time would have told you, hey, listen, they're definitely an influence.
Yeah.
I got put onto them because, again, Pantera came out, and then I see Phil in one of the things wearing an Exhorder t-shirt. I'm like, oh, Phil likes this band. Let me check it out. And it was harder to find shit back then. This is before social media and stuff like that. I mean, you're talking, early 90s. But yeah, dude, they're the real deal. And Kyle's a great guy. Like, what a great dude, doing a lot of good things, like you said, with the Stitch Witch organic solo project coming up, Exhorder project coming up, doing Trouble. This plate's full. I'm glad he gave us some time.
Well, with that being said, my fun, full-cheeked, beautiful friend, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us talking to Kyle Thomas, we promise to get Archie some fucking geography lessons because he doesn't know that New Orleans is not a fucking state. Then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
We out.
You done.
Whatever makes you happy, I'll do it.
Would you piss on me?